Multiculturalism by Christy K. By being an elementary school teacher in a typical Title I school, I have noticed that the demographics of the school have changed, making the classroom more diverse. Every year we are pushing more towards meeting the needs of each individual student. I am not the only teacher who believes that there is a major need to integrate the multicultural curriculum to meet the diverse population of the school. Through research, we have learned that the multicultural education and culturally relevant pedagogy can be used to increase student interest in social studies. Today we ask, can multicultural education and culturally relevant pedagogy be used to increase student interest in social studies? Dr. James Banks is a supporter of multicultural education and serves as the Director of Center for the Multicultural Education at the University of Washington. He is also known as the father of multicultural education due to the amount of research he has completed in this field. He was also a previous elementary school teacher and also serves as editor for the Handbook of Research on Multicultural Education with his wife, Cherry McGee Banks. He believes that multicultural education consists of 5 dimensions: content integration, the knowledge construction process, prejudice reduction, an equity pedagogy, and an empowering school culture and social structure. Content integration is determined by how the teacher teaches and what is being taught. This goes hand in hand with equity pedagogy, which is his main focus. Equity pedagogy is defined as teaching strategies and classroom environments that help students from diverse racial, ethnic, and cultural groups attain the knowledge, skills, and attitudes needed to function effectively within and help create and perpetuate a just, humane, and democratic society. This means that teachers have to consider assumptions and understandings that other students may have when entering their classroom. Teachers should allow students to use their own skills to be effective in their classroom and not just the ones we are teaching them. To do this, teachers need to incorporate cooperative learning and culturally relevant instruction into their lessons. Research shows that when an environment creates instruction in which students can acquire, interrogate, and produce knowledge through cooperative learning and culturally relevant, students are more successful. Teachers need to be challenged to use teaching strategies that facilitate the learning process by understanding their students' interests and lives. Teachers can acquire this information through student surveys, conferences with parents or guardians, and conversation with the student. By understanding student background, the teacher can reduce prejudice toward any student. The school should be in partnership with parents to best understand family structure. Research has also shown that when the instruction is culturally relevant, students are more successful finding multiple solutions and perspectives. Culturally relevant instruction includes field trips. History field trips can take place at museums, plantations, or any historic location. Field trips involve active engagement with experience that is open-ended. Students are able to construct meaning through personal, social, physical, and cultural contexts. Social studies is best taught when historical, cultural, social, and economic characteristics are taken into consideration. Overall, the main focus of equity pedagogy is making the instruction student-centered to meet the diverse needs of the classroom. By using these teaching strategies in a diverse classroom, students' interest level will increase. By understanding students' background and interests, the teacher will understand the major cultures that the students have experienced. The teacher can easily integrate these cultures into the literacy lesson. For a class that may consist of African Americans, the class can read books about this culture during Black History Month. This would also cover segregation in the social studies standards. The non-African American students would understand the history with the conflict between the Caucasians and African Americans. Scholastic is a great resource for teachers to find culturally relevant books for the classroom. For the topic of African Americans, Scholastic suggests the following books: Another integration can be teaching about legends and myths. Many of these originate from countries other than the United States of America. The teacher can introduce a story by presenting it in the original language and have students predict. This would be a great way for teachers to include background about other countries into a literacy lesson. These are a few examples of how the teacher can incorporate the history of multiple cultures into a literacy lesson. By incorporating information that relates to the student's culture, the students will have a higher interest rate. There are multiple ways to integrate multicultural integration into lessons. If you have students that are from other countries, the teacher could integrate this information in a history lesson about the Olympics. There are multiple countries represented at this event, and the students would find interest in learning about how well their country placed. Another way to integrate cultural information into lessons is during the winter season. Since every student may not celebrate Christmas, the teacher could refer to it as the holiday time. The teacher could create a project for students to research holidays celebrated during this time, such as Christmas, Kwanzaa, La Posada, and Hanukkah. Students would find it very interesting to discover how their classmates celebrate Christmas. These are just two examples of how teachers can integrate multiple cultures into their classrooms through lessons to increase student engagement. In conclusion, by integrating multiple cultures into a lesson using equity pedagogy, teachers can increase student interest. At the beginning of the year, teachers can best understand the cultures of their students by sending home a survey. They can also gather information by getting to know their students and through parent conferences. Overall, multicultural education and culturally relevant pedagogy can be used to increase student interest in social studies.